Hi y'all. Okay, so I'm back. So I'm doing a funny video today. 5 places that MGTOWs avoid and 5 places that they frequent. Okay, let's start off. First place that they avoid is directly sitting near the bar. Now, it's because they might feel uncomfortable with watching other men buy women drinks or sending drinks to women. They might feel uncomfortable around that kind of environment, and they might even get upset. So they tend to stay off to the side in a corner near the restroom or something like that. So they're not expected to buy anything. Okay.
She's wrong about that. The first thing I do when I go into a restaurant is head straight for the bar, because it's a way for me to sit alone and be by myself. I don't pay attention to what other people are doing. I wear my headphones, so I got radio, or not radio, but music to listen to, and other videos that I can listen to too. I totally tune people out. That's why I sit at the bar. The game might be on, I may be paying attention to that, but the last thing I'm paying attention to is who's there buying drinks for who. I mean, I might look, scan the room to see who comes and see who goes, and when people walk behind me, I might check them out for a second, but I'm not there looking to see what other social interactions people are getting involved with. Actually, either I have the person sit next to me strike a conversation up, a small conversation up with me, or I strike one up with them. But it's rarely female sitting alone at the bar. You know what I mean? Because they got too many dudes who want to pamper to them, take them out and spend their money on them. I'm spending my money on me. What's wrong with that?
The next place is the pharmacy type stores, like CVS or Walgreens or whatever. They're going to avoid these type of places. First of all, because regular items are way overpriced, and we know they're cheap. Cheap spenders. They don't like to spend a lot of money unless it's for, something that they can feel good about themselves for being single. Okay. So those type of stores are only really convenient for men who have girlfriends, men who are, in families, women, because they contain stuff like condoms, lubricants, diapers, makeup, birth control pills. So they really don't need to go in there. They can just go to their regular grocery store to get the simple items that they probably need day to day. So they don't have to go into those convenient pharmacy stores in the middle of the night or on the way to someone's house, because they're not going to need those things.
Again, she's wrong. I don't have no problem going to a drugstore because it's convenient. That's why the items are slightly overpriced, because it's convenient. I go there, I get Orbit's gum so I can get cash back, because not every place is taking debit cards now. And I do admit, I don't know if that makes me cheap, but I don't really like paying an extra $3 because I'm using a debit card at some place that isn't my bank. You know what I'm saying? My bank charges me $3 every time I use a non-PNC or M&T. I got, both of them charge if you don't use an M&T ATM or a PNC ATM. And I don't think that they need to be getting $3 from me because they didn't earn it. I earned it. But I don't have a problem going to a convenience store. I don't use the pharmacy at a convenience store because I don't have any ailments, no high blood pressure. I'm not there to get insulin or my cholesterol medicine. I'm a healthy man, thank God. So this bullshit she's talking doesn't make no sense at all. Don't have no significance in my life. I mean, it's better than going to a grocery store where you got people that are in line with a whole bunch of items and you got 2 or 3 things, and then you don't want to use the self-service checkout line, because there's 2 things that self-service checkout line is going to do. It's going to put people out of work, but on top of that, if people are out of work, how are they going to spend money on the goods and resources that the company is cutting corners by having the self-service line in the first place? You understand that? So I probably go to convenience stores every bit as often as I go to grocery stores. So strike 2 with that one.
Third place is concerts. They avoid concerts a lot because they all, have couples sitting around them, and they're feeling comfortable because they're there alone or with their friend, and then they're probably going to get mistaken as same-sex couples. So they try to avoid concerts like that because it makes them feel like an outcast or kind of strange. Okay.
She's wrong again. Every concert that I wanted to go to, I went to. Let me see. All the hip hop concerts from the early '90s. Let me see. Tribe Called Quest. I saw them twice. De La Soul, Black Moon, EPMD, Smith and Wesson, Special Ed, the Wu-Tang Clan, Nas, Mobb Deep. I seen all them, and I didn't say to my. Well, of course, I wasn't fully Mgtow then too, but I did go to a lot of those concerts by myself or with the Roots, Lauryn Hill, Indy Irie. I went to these concerts either by myself or with somebody, and then we kind of separated when we got there. Now I did go to. I saw Sade, I saw Norah Jones, and Prince, but both or all three of those times I went with a female. So I don't know what she's talking about, but I ain't got no problem. See, that's the thing. Part of being red pilled or Mgtow means you enjoy solitude. You don't want to go places with people. You'd rather do it by yourself. I've done more things by myself because I choose not to take no one else with me. Like, I've gone to Las Vegas. I used to go. These last 2 years I haven't gone, but for the last previous 10 years I went. Week 1 of the NFL. Why? Because none of my other friends had the means to do it. They had kids, or they didn't have the money, or I just didn't want to go with them. But for the most part, it was because they didn't have the means, or they couldn't get away from their family. And I didn't have that problem. See, Mgtow is freedom. One thing women don't want to see is a man who's living his life and doesn't have any responsibilities other than himself. Women can't stand that. I don't know a guy who's not married, or who is married, is married in a long-term relationship that isn't tied down to some degree. They got to check with their girlfriends before they do anything. I don't got to check with nobody.
The next place that they avoid are strip clubs. First of all, it costs to get in. Some of them, the nice ones. Second of all, they have to give women money, and that's like one of their greatest fears, that a woman is going to get their money and not give them sex in return. So they avoid strip clubs like the plague. Okay, first of all, even if they did go in one, they couldn't even impress a stripper. And I know strippers have to pretend to like everybody, but they're probably going to be like obviously annoyed. And plus, if the stripper asked them to buy him a drink, they would probably tell him no, and she'd probably just get mad and call him a loser.
I think she's what, 0 for 4 now? Going to strip clubs. I don't want to share my resources with women, especially low-class women who strip. So that's why I don't go. But she's stupid to think that if you don't, she says something about they don't want to give money to a woman they're not having sex with. If you know anything about strip clubs, if you offer the right amount of money, you'll get whatever you want from these scandalous motherfuckers. That's what they're there for. You just got to come off your wallet. I guess it depends on how much they like you or whatever. But if you got enough money, you don't even got to spit game. Enough money, this bitch will fuck you, man. And when I was going, I would do shit like wait till I got my refund back from when I was in college and my master's, and I would get like $3,000 back after my tuition was paid. I used to put it all in my top pocket, let them see it, have a couple of drinks, let them, like she said, pretend to like me and flirt with me, and then they would, I guess, humble themselves and ask for $1 for their G-string, asking for $1. And I would tell them no. And they would just skate off. That would give me power over those whack hoes. But that whole ordeal was whack in itself. I was about 32 years old doing that. But I haven't gone to a strip club in quite some time because it's nothing there for me. I'm not looking to get a lap dance. I don't get turned on by no lap dance, and I'm not looking to pay no woman so she can give me whatever sexual act I want her to perform on me. No thanks, man. So there's nothing at a strip club for me. The food's not that good, so I don't need to go to those places. Same with Hooters. Them wings aren't good like that.
Okay. And then again, this is kind of the same as the concert. The movies. They don't like going to the movies by themselves unless it's like early matinee, because they don't want to see couples. You know, they don't want to see other people enjoying their lives and having the life that they wish they could have, or that they used to have, and, you know, couldn't have it anymore because they weren't, you know, good boyfriend or husband material. So they were basically kicked to the curb, and now they're living the life of Mgtow. Okay.
Again, she's wrong. I go to the movies whenever I want to see something that I want to see. Like, I'm only going to the movies for things that have to do with history nowadays. I'm not going to these Marvel comic superhero movies. They're a waste of time. That Tyler Perry misogynist, or no, gynocentric bullshit. I don't see those movies. Those are pretty much the two genres that I could think of. I don't really like action, like your Expendables, because, you know, that's all a bunch of made up junk. You know, back in the day, I liked Arnold Schwarzenegger and those Action Jackson. I liked that movie. But that was because I was 14 years old. I'm 45 now. I'm not interested in any movie that isn't pertaining to history, like The Irishman, about Jimmy Hoffa. That movie comes out November 1st, and I probably will go see a matinee. I usually do go see matinees. You know why? Because I have such freedom on my job. I can go to a matinee while I'm on the clock. You know how many movies I saw when I was on the clock? A lot of them. Because I get my work done early and have another, 4 or 5 hours to kill. So, you know, I go to the movies on my company's time. So I'll be seeing The Irishman, probably at a matinee because it's less expensive. And it's more expensive at night. And, you know, but I'll give it to her. There is a slight stigmatism about going to a movie on a Friday night, prime time, when a couple's there and you're there by yourself. Why would you want to do that and let people just be like, damn, you must not have a life? You know, let those people go when they go. Like, if I go to movies and take a female, which I don't do anymore, I don't waste my time. See, it's really about not wasting your time with these women when all they can give you is sexual gratification and procreation. The sexual gratification isn't as good unless it's around a young piece of ass. And I'm 45 years old. So young pieces of asses don't want to fuck 45-year-old men. And smart 45-year-old men doesn't take out a young chick just because she's going to use him in some cases, most cases, probably all cases, try to use him for resources. Because she's at the prime of her life and is basically jockeying as many men as she can. So she'll look at me as a target and be like, let me see what I can get from this old motherfucker. And then maybe I'll fuck him. No thanks. I mean, even the young girl is still a piece of ass. It's a young piece of ass that I'd like to have, but I'm not going to go out of my way to try to sleep with them because they don't have, no woman has nothing to offer me but a piece of ass. Once the piece of ass is gotten or given away, what do they have?
Okay, now places that they frequent where you will find them, okay? Hanging around the mall near Victoria's Secrets, okay? This is as close as they can get to some sexy panties and bras for free, okay? This is it, okay?
I do go to the mall and really just sit and observe people. And you can say what you want, pervert, stare, spying on people, but I'm not at all looking. I'm not near no Victoria's Secrets. If anything, I'll look at the genetic similarities between mothers and daughters. You can tell when a woman's walking with her daughter. You can tell. Same with fathers and sons. You can just look to see. And I also notice when I go to the mall how many guys are sitting where I'm sitting waiting for their wife to come out after she spent their money, and they get up and walk off and go with her like some henpecked faggot. I remember telling a guy when I was at the mall one day, sitting watching people, and we started talking, and he said something about, he asked me, was I married? And I said, nah, man, A wife is a depreciating asset, and you pretty much spend your life engaged, or not engaged, but enslaved to your wife. And he said, smart man. Next thing I know, his wife's coming out with a whole bunch of bags, and he, gets up and walks off with her. So, he probably would have wanted to trade my life for his.
The tarot reader, the palm reader, the psychics, they're always going there because they can't talk to anybody else. They can't talk to their friends. They can't talk to anybody else about it because, they have this Mgtow label, they're men. But when they go to the tarot reader, they're always going to ask, when is my money going to come up? And is there a woman for me in the future? Am I going to get married? Is there a special lady that's going to love me for me? That's their main question. So, the tarot reader.
No, she's totally wrong there. I've never gone to a tarot reader, never gotten my palm read, never called Dionne Warwick and her psychic friends. And if I find out a chick is into that type shit, I look at her side-eyed and like, yo, I don't want nothing to do with this bitch. That's straight devil worship shit as far as I'm concerned. This woman looks like a witch anyway. So she probably is into that type shit. What sign are you and all that? A lot of more women are into that shit than men. Men aren't really into that type shit. Tarot card reading and all that bullshit. Men aren't into that at all. So I don't know where she's coming from with that. And she posed the question. She said us Mgtowers are going into these tarot places asking, is there a woman going to love us for ourselves, and is there a woman out there for us? We know the answer. That's why we are going our own way. Do you understand that? But the key is now to get the word out so other men that don't have any red pill knowledge at all at least get some, to where they start, thinking, maybe what that brother said to me might be true. Then they start looking up red pill content on the internet. And next thing they know, they're breaking off their engagement with their girlfriend. And she's upset because she's not able to get at his resources.
The next place is the lotion section of the store. Now this is obvious, okay? They need to have something soft, smooth, and wet to touch or, help themselves. Because they'll get skin burned or chafed or, irritated. And, it's just the result of not being able to have a woman.
Yeah, hanging out buying lotion so you can put it on your hands so when you jerk off, you can get pleasure out of it. I don't even fap anymore, which is jerking off, masturbating. That's the Mgtow term for it. I don't do that. So, because when you release sexual energy, you start to lose you lose your sexual energy. That's like a waste of sexual energy, is jerking off. That's no good for you. You want to keep that energy, because energy cannot be created or destroyed. It can only be transferred. And I don't want to transfer any of my sexual energy into a towel or a napkin or a paper towel and just waste it. I'd rather keep it in me. More women notice your aura when you've got more sexual energy inside. They somehow they can see that. So that's how it is. But touching on what you said about lubricants at the drugstore, I know how to get a girl wet. I ain't never had no dry pussy in front of me when I was doing my thing, when I actually thought you women were worth my time, my money, my attention. I don't think that no more. That's what this whole Mgtow shit is. You women simply are not worth it. You weren't worth it when I was young. I just was fooled into thinking you were. But I don't care who the woman is, once you really get into her, you be like, hey, ain't a whole lot here, man.
And then the last place, of course, the pet supply store. Now, the pet supply store, it's like a tongue twister. The pet supply store, because the only bitch that they will ever feed and lay up next to is their dog. And, that's about it. So, thank you guys so much for watching.
Now, I personally don't want any pets, but to each his own. I was thinking about getting some turtles or some fish or something like that that's really low maintenance, doesn't have to be walked, and won't piss and shit in your house and have it smelling like piss. I don't want that. Women are the ones that want pets because they get lonely. A true solitude dude, Mgtow guy, he likes his solitude to the point he doesn't want his dog having to go out when he don't feel like taking him out. Well, cats, they piss and shit, and you can smell them. But I would prefer a cat because it only comes around every once in a while. But I don't want pets at all because they take up too much time. Like if I want to go away, I got to find somewhere for the cat to go or for the dog to go. If you don't got no pets, you ain't got to worry about nobody going anywhere but yourself. So she's wrong with that. But some dudes, I don't know very many cats that live alone that have pets because men don't naturally want to nurture anything. That's what women are here to do, to nurture what they procreate. And if they don't procreate, they get a pet because it's instilled in them to have something to nurture. That's why they want to fuck with bad boys, because they want to nurture those dudes into the kind of dudes that they claim that they would want, but they know damn good and well that when they get them and turn them into something that they weren't before, they don't want them anymore. So, but that, yeah, she's really missing and hitting nothing when she tries to break down Mgtow's. She actually did an exercise video. She's fat. You can see she's fat. So she's got this exercise video online to where she's trying to get other females to lose weight. You should check it out. I got it. It's at the end of this video. I'm going to show it to y'all. Here we go.
You do not have to strain yourself to keep fit. I maintain my dynamite figure with a daily aerobic workout. Now you go to your refrigerator and get your exercise equipment and get ready to snack-exercise.
The world is yours to take. Snack-exercise. And life's a piece of cake. Get in the mood. Get the right kind of food and snack-exercise.
Cool! There is no need for perspiration. Now, be sure to wear a comfortable snack suit. And remember, never eat right before eating. Now, to warm up, we will begin with some banana splits. Ready? Here we go! Lift the dish, grab the spoon, take a bite and chew, 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 swallow. Yes, trade good.
Don't you be shy, get that chocolate-free pie and snack-exercise.
This snack-exercising is making me hungry. So for our last aerobic exercise, let's work out on the candy bars. Ready? Remove the wrapper, raise the candy, take a bite and crunch,